definitely not one that has a huge problem with allergies and sinus issues in the spring, but occasionally, every few years or so, it kicks me in the butt. And this year it's kicking me in the butt. Hey everybody, it is Tuesday. I didn't vlog yesterday because I slept instead, because that's where I am right now. But it is Tuesday the 16th. It is my nephew's birthday, so happy birthday, Connor. And I really don't have a lot to update you guys on. I think I'm just gonna kind of maybe set a couple of goals for myself this week and see how that works. I would like to get through The Last Wish. Hi. Would like to get through The Last Wish. I've started it and I listened to it some yesterday, but I think I'm gonna have to re-listen to what I listened to yesterday because I was not fully there and did not really hear any of it. Like it was just background noise to me. So I'm gonna listen to that one this week, and then I'm gonna try to get as far along into Swords Against Death as possible. I did read a little bit of that over the weekend, but not a substantial amount. That's pretty much all that I'm worried about this week. I have a crazy busy week, and I'm not sure how much vlogging I'm gonna get done, but hopefully this sinus stuff clears out real fast because I'm dying a little bit. That's what it feels like. Yeah. Hey everybody, it is Thursday. I'm in bed. I'm about to go to sleep. It's late-ish. It's 10:30. And I just figured I'd do a quick check-in, even though I haven't really accomplished much, but at least I'll have some footage to put in this vlog if I do a check-in now. I'm almost at the end of The Last Wish. I have like a half hour left in that audiobook, so that it's going to be finished either tonight as I'm going to bed or first thing tomorrow morning. I haven't decided if I want to listen to it tonight yet. Yeah, that one's really good. I'm enjoying that one quite a bit. I'm still only on chapter 2 of Swords Against Death, though. I just haven't. My week's been stupid. Just been working nights a lot this week, and haven't been feeling great, and so by the time I finally get settled down to go to bed, I just pass out and I don't read at all. But one thing that has occurred to me this week is that the two books that I have chosen to read are both similar in a lot of ways. I mean, they're both episodic and both kind of like quest-driven books. Man, Swords Against Death, all of Fafford and the Grey Mouser, but Swords Against Death really has strong D&D vibes. It feels like a D&D campaign. Hopefully I'll be able to get some reading done this weekend. But I know tomorrow me and my roommate are gonna like have just a hangout day, because we haven't had one of those in a while, so we're gonna go to the library because she doesn't have a library card with our local library, so we're gonna go there and get her a library card, get her straightened out, and go out to eat and maybe do a couple other things. But eventually, at some point tomorrow, I will do some reading, because I also have this guy that just showed up in my life because I went and checked it out of the library. But that one I'm hoping to start at some point this weekend. And I'm excited to start it and then get caught up and be in the waiting party for that third book, and just be sad with everybody else. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Game of Thrones started. That was cool. I mean, it was an alright episode, but I'm happy it started. Notre Dame caught fire. That wasn't cool. Black hole memes. I think we're all caught up. I'll check in when I'm more awake. Hey everybody, we got the Towelhead back. Good old Towelhead. I know you've been missing it. It is Friday, and me and my roommate got back from our afternoon shenanigans, and I took a bath. We didn't go to the library. I had failed to realize that they were going to be closed today because it's Good Friday. I probably should have realized that. It was kind of one of those things that as we were driving there, I was thinking, they may be closed, and we pulled up and they were definitely closed. So no library, but we did just like hang out and do some fun things, so that was a good time. And then when I got home and got into the tub, I started down Among the Sticks and Bones. This is just the dust jacket because story time. This is the Naked Book which I was reading in the tub, and it like stained my hands. Yeah, I'm just like covered in black now because I was reading this in the tub, and I guess just the water made it transfer to my hands. But this is the second in the Wayward Children series by Shauna McGuire. I read the first one, I think, during the 30 and 30, and I enjoyed it a fair bit. I thought it was pretty surprising, honestly, because I really didn't realize the demographic for it. I kind of thought it was YA, but a lot of people are saying that it's adult, which I can understand. But it's almost written in the way that you would expect like a middle grade series to be written. So it's definitely like an adult series, but it's very middle grade-esque. This follows just like different kids who are swept away into magical lands, you know, Wonderland, Narnia, so on and so forth. But it's just like all original lands and all original stories, and it's just like different original novellas about all of that. This one I'm enjoying quite a bit more than the first one so far. It's been a little bit more of a slow burn, and I like that. I like that it's kind of focusing more on some individual kids rather than like the whole like world building aspects that were in the first one. The first one was all about like establishing all the rules and like setting this whole grand world for all of this to happen in, and this one's more about a very individual story. It does follow some characters from the first one, and I thought it took place after the first one, but this one may be the prequel. I'm getting all of these mixed up because I don't know which ones come before, which ones after. I'm just kind of like jumping into them and seeing what happens. But I'm pretty sure that this is technically the one that you're supposed to read second. It came out second. If not, I've been reading these in the wrong order. It hasn't affected anything yet, so I'm going to assume I'm okay to go ahead and finish it. But I just finished the first part, like 52 pages in. Oh, I also finished The Last Wish. That was a thing I did. I finished that this morning. And yeah, that I am so excited for when we get into the ones that are more like the full-length narrative arcs, like you get into the novels instead of just the short stories. Because some of those short stories had really interesting arcs and had like a really interesting progression, but they just didn't feel like they had enough time. Although I think one of my favorite moments is actually a pretty short section, and I'm not sure if I can't remember what story it was part of, or if it was like a completely standalone story. It just kind of happened, but I was so into it when it was happening. But it was like a monologue from Geralt about his life and his upbringing, and it was just really fascinating. But there's been a lot of really cool bits about like the different ways people become monsters, and like kind of like some really interesting like gray area stuff going on. I really like all like the different species and the interactions that have happened, and there's like some really cool things in this collection of short stories, like some really awesome moments. But I'm really interested to see what it's like when you get into more of like a full narrative arc and a progression with like a build-up climax, you know, like a long-form story, because I felt like a lot of these were really short, and some of these were longer and closer to what I wanted, but none of them quite reached that length that I really wanted to spend some time with these characters to develop a really long, interesting story. They very accurately represent Geralt as just like the coolest badass that exists, and that's what I wanted from these. So yeah, that's who that character is, and I love it. But anyway, that is all I have to update you guys on. I think what I'm gonna do later on tonight, just kind of as a therapeutic thing for me, because photography is one of my hobbies and I really haven't been doing it much lately, is I may do like some bookstagram pictures. I have an Instagram. I've had it forever. It's basically vacant. There's nothing that I really do with it, and so I thought it might be fun to take some pretty pictures of books and kind of use that as a place where I can post either books that I'm currently reading or just, you know, maybe mini reviews. I don't know really what I would do with it, but tonight I'm just going to start with the picture side of things and take some pretty pictures and see what I can cobble together with stuff I already have lying around the house, because I've already kind of done some exploration to see if I have some props that might be cool to integrate into some of those pictures. So now I'm kind of excited about it. So that may happen later on tonight. I made a smoothie. I'm super healthy. Ignore the Oreos and the soda boxes in the background. Okay, so I am going to go through the house and pick a couple of books to take pictures of and some props and get all that set up and just see what happens, because I don't really know what I'm doing. But I feel in the mood to take pictures now that I have my brown goop drink. Got some bang issues going. Got them bang issues going. That didn't make it any better. Ooh, that's fun. Let's just leave that guy out there. He can have a party all to himself. Hey everybody, it is Saturday morning, and I have had a very nice, relaxed morning to decompress a little bit after my week. I've been sitting here sipping my coffee and watching a bunch of YouTube videos on vegan literature, because apparently that's how I decompress. But I've been vegan for over a year and a half now, and when I first started I was really good at being more plant-based, but since then I've kind of like fallen back into a lot more processed foods, and so now I'm kind of trying to like reaffirm that idea of eating whole foods and being really plant-based. And now is the time of year to do that, because it's going to be increasingly easy to get a hold of fresh produce. So I hope that over the next little bit I'll be able to read some of those and kind of like get back into that mindset, trying to eat really good, healthy, whole plant-based food, and just kind of get my act back together in that. I don't know, I'm eating a lot of like soy protein and just processed foods in general, and I want to kind of get back to where I was when I started. But as part of that, I really want to read a lot of books that have to do with veganism, because I never really read a huge amount. When I first went vegan and was really doing a lot of research, I wasn't reading a lot during that time. I did read Michael Greger's How Not to Die. I think I read most of that. I'm not sure if I finished it, but I read a good chunk of that. And then there was another one that I read that was almost like an interview style book, where it's just different topics, and it was just the entire book was a long interview. I don't remember what that one was called, but those were the only two that I read. And yeah, that's just not enough for me. Like, I like to try to get as much information from as many different sources as possible and kind of piecemeal it together and try to figure out what seems to be the common denominator, and make the best possible decisions from all of that information, and not just stick with one book or one plan, because that seems dangerous at best. But I know the China study is going to be one of the first ones that I read, because it's a little upsetting to me that I haven't read that yet. I've definitely like done some research into it, but I haven't like read the book that was put out about that study. So yeah, that's gonna come in the future. But right now, I am going to jump back into Down Among the Sticks and Bones and go ahead and just try to knock this one out. It won't take me long to finish, so I think I'm just gonna sit here and finish it, and then maybe later today get back into, I got it over here, The Name of the Wind, which I started last night. There was a little clip of me starting it. But I didn't realize that it was already 11:30 when I started it. I was just confused about what time it was. So I read a whole chapter of it and then went to bed. But it was good. It was a good first chapter. I'm into it. I'm liking it so far. And yeah, I love this hare. This hare is just, it's a free spirit. It's living its best life. But that's the plan right now, is to finish Down Among the Sticks and Bones and maybe jump into some Name of the Wind. Okay, so I just finished the second part of this book, so I have one part left, which I will read after I get some lunch in me. So far, I think my favorite bit is the siblings are in the magical world now, and then there's two individuals who are like vying for their attention, and one's referred to as the master, and the other's referred to as the doctor, which just cracked me up. Got a little fun Doctor Who reference in there, but yeah, now I'm gonna go make some curry, because that sounds delicious. Guys, this smells so good. It's even coming through like my sinus issues, so hopefully this will help clear me out a little bit. But this is my curry. It's got sweet potatoes, garbanzo beans, and asparagus in it. It's not as thick as I would have liked it, but as you can see, I made a huge quantity. This is a big boy pan, and I do that a lot on the weekends when I have a chance to cook. Is I'll just cook a huge vat of something and then eat it throughout the week. So I'm excited about this week to dig in to this deliciousness. But it's not done yet, because I gotta add some spinach. And so what I normally do when I add spinach to things is I turn off whatever I've just cooked and I just add the spinach straight in. Like so. And then I just push it under so it's just slightly wilted. Just gets a little bit of heat into it. Now obviously when I reheat it, it'll become more like cooked spinach, but this, it's just going to be slightly wilted. So that is lunch. Alright, so it's later in the day, much later in the day, and I cannot get this book oriented to save my life. I did finish Down Among the Sticks and Bones. I have not started Name of the Wind yet. I did like chores and boring stuff instead, which was probably more responsible, but now I'm kind of regretting my decision. But yeah, finished that one. Enjoyed it, but kind of wish that I had read it without knowing what I knew from Every Heart a Doorway, because I feel like certain twists and turns that it took weren't as exciting because I kind of already knew the outcome of their story because it's revealed in Every Heart a Doorway, so that was unfortunate, but overall I did enjoy this one a lot more than that one. And I think that's kind of the consensus that I'm understanding, is this may be like the high point of what's out so far, at least what's out of the first three. I haven't heard a lot about the fourth one. But yeah, I liked it a lot. But I've been editing over this last little bit. This vlog's a weird one. I'm not really sure if it's a reading vlog or a food vlog. It's a bit of both. But I need to finish editing and get this figured out because Easter's tomorrow. So I need to have it uploaded and kind of set. So I'm going to say goodbye
This is the end clip of this vlog. You'll see me in the next one.